You
Yeah,
hear?
I think
I
the
don't
Wolves
hear.
box is
I only hear the pulse.
welcome back here to Bellafield. We apologize for all the technical difficulties we've had to deal with. Like to give a thank you to our cameraman Noah upstairs, doing his best, trying to give you a makeshift stream. But we have everything up and running now, and we can give you an update. It is still 0-0, 18 minutes to go in the first half, as we will now join you on the mic. Jumbos and the Camels, a historic NESCAC matchup. Once again, continuing from Bellow Field. Feigen picks his head up. Ethan Jett now. Pushed wide, Owen Denby. Turning his Jet, and a slide tackle there. Clean and getting a ball was Perugini. Crayus picks his head up. Left it a little too far. Argana tried to get it, couldn't corral it cleanly, and coming the other way now is Scafone. Christian Perugini. Oscar Tanidas couldn't control it cleanly, but he'll shepherd it out for a throw in the end. Oscar Tanidas going to leave that one for Mateo Bargana. As both teams more than happy to take a little bit of rest. This has been a very physical, high-intensity game from the jump. Nice turn there from Perugini. Giannis tried to get a touch to it, but couldn't. Now Dylan Hoke. Jet tracks him all the way back. Hands off to Matt Kiros Newton. He'll go the other way to Bagola. Charlie Miles swings it to the left side. Kazaglu looks for a runner. Clivio rises to get that one away. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Conn College was offside. Ontich going to take the goal kick here for the Jumbos. Dumps it back to Clivio, playing a little 1-2. Ontich a little cute with that one. Clivio goes up to get it, but has to concede the throw. The goal now. Jumbo's double on the man here. That's Elliott Spatz. Nice turn there from Curtis Newton. Across there to Galezagu. Horathiano sends it back. Controlled at the back here by the Camels. No real sense of urgency. Horvathiano now going to try and go over the top. Clivio sees that one the whole way, chests it down to the waiting arms of Nikola Ontic. Sends a ball, but lost his footing before he could hit it. And Crayos will turn. Through ball and a diving slide tackle by Taylor Feinberg to knock that one away. 3-2 midfield to substitute at the next whistle for the Jumbos. Wide here to Hoke. Diagonal ball. Hangs up. Nice touch there, but left a little too much for Bargana to nibble at, and he'll outlet to Danny Yanez. Yanez cuts back into traffic, puts Oscar Tanidas under pressure, and he'll just get rid of it. Hoke. Between the lines there. for spats. 1-2 ball cut out there by the outstretched leg of Ashkar Tanidas. Joined here now by Micah Baum. Micah, I mean, you've been watching this one very closely for the first 32 or so minutes, and just it seems like neither team can really gain a footing at all.
Definitely. I think it's been really tricky so far. Conn College have really dominated proceedings in this opening half hour. They've had a couple chances, really tested Ontich. A couple of chances have gone just wide. Tufts have gotten a couple openings in their own attacking end, but Conn College will be wondering how they haven't gotten the opening goal here in Medford.
Yeah, Conn College has been historically good in Medford, as Jet's going to go all the way back to challenge Peter Sylvester for that one. Have not lost a game in Medford since 2018. They have been historically good at Bellow Field. Was famously the site of their 5-4 Elite 8 win 3 years ago. That one given away to Ethan Jet, who has some space in front of him. A lot of contact in the midfield. Jet comes away with it. Looked like it might have hit a hand. And in the end, the Camels will turn the other way. Space here for Pagola. Cut out by Clivio. Chested on by Canfin. Can't get past Dylan Hoke.
It's been interesting to see how the Jumbos have adjusted today. They've been pretty consistent with their formation, either gone with 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 in the first 3 games of the season, but now they have switched to something looking more like 4-2-1-2, if you have to put a name to it. It's been an interesting shift with those 3 center backs. Bijan Zandi Das has been part of the starting lineup in center midfield or center back, and Coach Desdell is really trying to force him in wherever he can, now at center back.
Well, he's the sort of player that you really can't afford to leave out when he's in form. He's got that transformational style about him. It's a nice little play down the left flank. Ball whipped across. Ontich shot the whole way.
Jumbo's still defending their perfect defensive record so far, have yet to concede a goal this season.
The best start in program history under Kyle Desitel. 3-0.
Meanwhile, Conn College have not had the best start. They have played two in conference, 1 draw, 1 loss. That draw to Bowdoin 0-0 and a loss to Amherst.
Yeah, Conn College has the unfortunate reality of starting their season off every year with the 4 toughest NESCAC opponents, as their season always starts Amherst, Bowdoin, Tufts, and Middlebury. So, in other words, they get the difficult games out of the way first. Jet coming the other way, has a hit, curled wide, might stay in play. In fact, it will, run down by Liam Gherkin. 1-2 there with Denby. Picks his head up across. Cut out, though, by Dylan Hoke. Ooh, and a late challenge by Jet, and that's going to be a card. Well, we knew it was only a matter of time. But I believe if the pause of the clock is any indication, Ethan Jet's going to see the first card of the day. Though he might have just escaped without it.
I think so. They just paused the clock to make sure that the player was okay for Conn College. I believe that was Miles who went down under the challenge. Looks to be up and running.
Creus now for the Camels. Underhit that one. Bargania took it, but gave it right back. Jumbo's caught out 5v4 for the Camels. Loose ball in between 2, and Oscar Tanidas stepped to it.
And you have to say, if the Jumbos are getting caught out 5v4 when they have added an extra defender into their back line, that is not something you want to see. They're still just struggling to get to grips with this new system.
Yeah, it's definitely something they have to adjust to. Speaking of adjustments, a wholesale line of changes for the Jumbos now. Among those entering the game, Luke Randolph, Mason Schultz, Ben Brown, as well as Gibson Campbell. So the Jumbos said, we see that 4 or 5 backs aren't working, we'll add another one. Brown cuts that one out. Feinberg looks to send it long. Problem is no one's really up there. And Horvathiano restart play for the Camels, who have really pinned the Jumbos in the first half.
Something that Ethan Jett highlighted before this game is how good the Camels are at possessing the ball. They're really just showing such composure on the ball, especially on this near side. Dylan Hoke, just a first year, he's really been the linchpin of this Camels defense so far, already starting those 4 games.
Jumbos seemed content to let them possess it there, and were able to force a turnover. Heavy collision in midair. Horvathiano went down. No whistle came. And eventually Sylvester underhits one. Picked off by Canfin. He can't corral it. And Dylan Hoke might have saved a goal. Now Jet. That one saved by Sylvester. And all sorts of chaos in the Conn College end.
I'm glad I got that call out for Dylan Hoke in early because that was fantastic recovery there. Jet putting all the fight on the line, just trying to get that chance back. Sylvester had time to recover.
Jet to the byline. Across into the side netting.
And that's easily the best chance the Jumbos have had so far this game.
Best chance either side has had so far today. And if you're honest, Xavier Canfin probably should have put that one away.
I think he just tried to cut back inside onto his right foot. Took too much time to do that, brought it too close to Hoke. That was a wise intervention by the first year.
And a really, really poised play from the first year. Really tough to do that in a emotion-filled, adrenaline-pumping game like this one. And especially when you have to get it right, or not only are you conceding a pen, you might be getting yourself sent off. Intervention attempted there by Feinberg, and is able to force it back. Gibson Campbell's first touch of the day. Ontic sends that one long for Jet. He can't win the first one, but the second one's going to pop free to Luke Randolph on the right side. He'll turn back to Campbell, who tries to go through 2, and you're not going to do that, but that's a dangerous pass, and James Fly got to it first. Looped it over for Canfin, interceded, though, by Charlie Miles. Ben Brown caught 2v1 near side, but is able to force the turn.
Definitely not been the ideal start for Conn College, but one thing they will not like to see is they have yet to score a goal in conference play. We're shut out by both Bowdoin and Amherst. This from the team that was the number 3 offense in the NESCAC last season, number 3 team in the NESCAC period last season. They just haven't been able to get going attacking-wise.
That's definitely something to note. The other thing to note is in this matchup, since that famous 5-4 game at Bello 2+ years ago, there has not been a goal in this matchup. Both the matchups in the last 2 years finished 0-0 ties.
Not so the case when they went to New London. Xavier Camfin and Sam Beam were the goal scorers on that occasion. Camfin tried to replicate that tally. We haven't seen much of Beam so far.
I don't believe Conn College has made a substitution yet, if memory serves me right.
I think they may have made 1 or 2, but certainly not as many as Tufts have.
Jumbo's quickly approaching the double digits in terms of substitutions.
We got 2 more coming up here as Schultz and Perkins line up.
Great slide intervention from Canfin. Jet now with some space ahead of him. Looks to pick out a runner, instead decides to turn back, plays it wide for Campbell. Campbell drops a man. Head up. Gibson still running. Ball in the box. Away as far as Gunn. Loose touch from Randolph, taken off of him. One right back. Campbell on the right side. Scooped up for Ethan Jett. Jumbo's bench not happy that Randolph didn't put the press on there, but they're going to get it back anyway. Jett cuts inside around 1. Still going. Late tackle for a man who's already gotten a warning.
It's Christian Perugini coming in with the tackle there. One of 2 Peruginis on the team for the Camels.
And a stoppage here as they're going to tend to Ethan Jett, who seemingly is coming up a little bit worse for wear on that challenge.
And that's not something you want to see if you're a Jumbos fan. He already came off with an injury in the first game of the season. Training staff is running out.
And the Conn College bench and head coach Ruben Burke very animated in this timeout, yelling at his team to huddle up. He does not seemingly like what he's seen in the last 10 or so minutes. You can't really blame him. Conn College had a lock on this game for the first half an hour or so, but the Jumbos have really opened it up in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, and you can just feel the frustration that they weren't able to capitalize on those first 30 minutes. And Piana had a great chance that Antic ran out and forced him to play it wide. Beyond that, they had a couple more chances to pepper the Jumbo's goal. Couldn't get it in, and now they should be thanking their lucky stars that they're not down 1-0.
They should, and I think we questioned it a little bit at the time. We were talking the decision to go 5 at the back from Kyle Desatel, but it seemingly has worked wonders in that it's caused Conn College to expend great amount of energy to no avail offensively. And now the Jumbos seemingly have endless supplies of fresh attackers they can bring off the bench to go wreak havoc on this Conn College defense.
The question is very much how they're playing to make those chances in attack, because so far their one biggest chance has been from a Conn College error. Kempton tried to pounce on it, but beyond that, they haven't been very consistent at getting their players forward. We've heard Coach Desatel yelling at his front players to make runs in behind. They haven't been able to get anyone near them as Kempton tries to do just that here.
Nice overlay played there. Laid off, looking for the run, and not able to find James Flagg. Randolph tried to find Flagg. Flagg was a little too cute with it. And here come the Camels.
Tell you what, Flag is taking the wingback role to heart, sprinting up and down the sideline.
That's what you love to see, and you really need it for this system. Someone who's willing to go all out offensively and then hustle back defensively to cover the wide men for the Camels. Jumbo's a little bit higher with the press than they have been most of the day. That one cut out. A nice tackle there from James Gunn. Oscar Tanidas with some pressure, gets rid of it to Campbell. That one down the line, flicked on by Schultz. 1-2, gonna get it right back. Cuts inside. Man on the ground. Campbell came up with it. Late tackle, and that might be a card.
It's great work up the right sideline from the Jumbos just to progress so easily. Got past 2 or 3 defenders. Campbell took on another one, and he was having none of it.
And gotta say, for all the crazy physicality we've seen, the fact that a Tufts Conn College game is 3 minutes from heading to the break without a card is almost unbelievable.
I think if you were watching earlier, you may have noticed some. I think Max Clivio should probably be on a card for some extracurriculars he had
I
earlier
could
in
name
the
a
half.
half-dozen players
Yeah.
who should probably be on a card at this point. Looks like
Just saying, this does apply to both sides for sure.
Looks like it might be James Flagg over that ball. Whipped in towards the near post, flicked on, and not able to redirect it was Flagg on that ball that was taken by Luke Randolph.
Randolph and Schultz standing over that one. Flag darted into a good area, but was just a bit wider of the near post than he thought.
But it's not the first time we've seen the Jumbos able to find some men unmarked off a free kick.
Definitely, and they've had some really good set piece takers this year. Obviously, they tend to rely on Yanez when he is on the field. They also have some booming throws coming from the likes of Ben Brown, Mateo Bargana. They haven't been able to capitalize on that this year. They haven't really run so many designed set piece routines, but they have uncanny ability to get the ball into the box and into dangerous areas.
That one over the top, looking for a runner. Feinberg able to intercede, and he'll just send it right back into the Conn College bench.
It's a really good run there by Kuros Newton just to find the gap between the wingback and the center back, but Feinberg, great recovery pace and awareness to snuff out that opportunity.
There has been a little bit of more of a positional gap between the midfield and the defense since Gibson Campbell and Flagg came on the field. The defense seemingly another half step back compared to the midfield, with the midfield a little more aggressive on the press. We dip under a minute to play in the first half here from Bello. Flag goes up for that one. Second ball is going to be won by Ben Brown. Gunn gets taken out. Crayus going the other way. 1-2 for the Camels. Ball played in deep, and a shot, and he's offside. Wouldn't have mattered because Elliott Spatz missed a point-blank chance. And I think Gibson Campbell is still giving the referee an earful about that challenge on James Gunn.
Definitely, that probably should have been called back for a foul, but huge sigh of relief there with the call going their way in the end, as there was all sorts of confusion from the Jumbo's back line. Still, as I say, potentially getting used to this back five formation. Campbell wasn't sure where he was supposed to be, and that left Spots with so much space to come in behind, couldn't get the shot on target.
They did, but at the same time, they did a good job holding the line, keeping him offside, and Nick Ontich not going to play any games here. That one will bounce. Through ball for a man. Flag is up. Randolph didn't score anyway, and a kind of fitting way for the first half to end with a squandered chance that wouldn't have counted at all. We go to the break here at Bello. Honors even, still 0-0.
let that back five do the Jumbos.
I wonder if they want to win this game and not just get a point, as that's another dangerous pass for Sylvester. Are they going to have to come out of that shell and risk going to a 4 at the back?
It really is a question of if they can win this game, because with the result yesterday with Williams defeating #1 team in the country, Amherst, the top of the table is now wide open. Middlebury will expect to be the favorites for the 1 seed, but if Tufts can get 3 points today, they would expect to be in the running.
Well, I think, if I had to be honest, Middlebury is the favorite, but this is a very situation where if the Jumbos were to win today, they would become the favorite simply based on the fact that Middlebury has to come here on the last weekend of the regular season. Gherkin takes it down.
There are only 3 teams left in the NESCAC with a perfect conference record, those being Middlebury, Tufts, and Wesleyan.
That's the more surprising one. Jumbos do go to Wesleyan next weekend, as that is a really bad tackle from Kalezagu. Forearm shiver is going to get you a foul called against every single time.
100% Schultz, happy to get the call, not happy to be taken out, I don't think.
Desitel calling out the play from the bench. Liam Gherkin going to outswing this one from the right side. Ruben Burke not happy with his defense. Ball whipped in over the head, bouncing around on frame, but a weak effort in the end from Oscar Taneras.
It's great work from Feinberg to dummy that delivery in. Achizanidas sneaking in behind. However, Sylvester was behind it all the way.
Scafone got a good run and forced Oscar Taneras to concede the throw. Ruben Burke wants handball. It definitely looked like it hit off the arm of Oscar Taneras, but I don't know how much he knew about it.
Both players just sprinting back from that free kick as Scafone was part of the wall.
Loose touch. Bijan wins it back. Bargania fighting 1v2 and gives it away there to Perugini. Gherkin with a loose touch. And the sophomore wins it back for the Camels. Wide to Piana. Great footwork there for Ben Penske. Between the lines, I'm not quite sure how that is offside because I saw at least 2 on the other side of him.
Desitel is of the same opinion as you.
He has the right opinion. I could count 2, maybe even 3 on the plus side of Mason Schultz.
Moment in the game.
Well, I mean, Desitel never one who's shy about quotes, but an important moment in the game is probably an underemphasis of that call. Diagonal ball cut out there by Bargania. And that is a dive that gets called. Scafone laid out and got the call.
Can you ask the AR if he was offside coming back to the ball for that? That guy was. Yeah. With the guy who got fouled. You make sure.
Questions about a potential offside on Scafone.
He's saying there was no offside position.
And being told that there was not offside. So a dangerous position for a free kick here for the Camels. Rajaran and Sam Bohm standing over this one. In swinger from Duran, whipped hard, and ahead got it away. Couldn't see who it came off. It was a jumbo.
Looked potentially like Clavio just getting in position. We know how dominant he is aerially. The beam is going to run over and take this set piece. Duran took the last one.
Beam with that in swinger from the right corner.
Go, Mace, go, Mace.
Duran shows short, draws Schultz out, whipped in towards the back post. Diving header, bouncing around, and in the end, No real effort allowed Antic to corral it.
It's really just been tale of trading blows. We've seen set piece at one end, set piece at the other end. So far, the second half has been very much tit for tat.
Yeah, very similar to the game these two teams played here 2 years ago, which finished 0-0. That one also kind of seemed like a heavyweight boxing match. Canfin keeps it in along the far sideline. Now going to go chase after the freshman Dylan Hoke.
You wonder if why they've kept Camfin and Schultz in as those front twos. They are two of the most willing runners on the team, especially with Ben Werner not dressed today.
Good switch there from Feinberg for Bargania, but a little too much on it. Allowed Kalezigu to get to it. Between the lines now for Rajaran, and blown up by Feinberg. Late tackle by Feigen. Took out a Conn College man and Liam Gherkin. Advantage being played. Down the right side for Duran. Cuts onto his left foot and whips a shot that was wide by about 15 yards.
He was looking for Scafone coming in at the far post, but not on the save wavelength. He jogs off a bit frustrated. Cutting a more frustrated figure is Ruben Burke.
Yeah, I don't think either coach is very much in a calm state of mind right now. Ontage telling his men to get further forward. He wants to send this one, and does, all the way across the logo. Second ball going to be won there. Ahead to Canfin. He'll turn back into traffic. And looks to win the ball 1v2, and does. And a nice cut there by Demby. Picks his head up, has a shot. Bounced off a foot, then a chest, and a stoppage. I think it's going to be a stoppage to check on a Conn College player. I believe Jorge Mendo.
Yeah, Jorge Mendo just got hit in the gut by that shot from Demby. Looks to be walking okay, but taking no precautions, or taking all precautions.
And a great job there by the referee to spot that, blow the play dead. And Conn College decides they're taking the drop ball. No thought of sending it back. Kalezigu atop. Oscar Canidas with the head. And gets to the second ball. And unclear what the call is. I think they're going to get...
I think that was a handball. Artizandi Das.
Okay, I did not see that, but all I saw was a wave of bodies crashing towards the ball and then a wave of bodies hitting the turf.
Calling for yellow as it appeared from our angle that Artizandi Das, unintentionally, I believe, punched the ball away as he was falling already. So they cut into the middle ground and just give the free kick to Conn College.
Same two over the ball in Beam and Duran. This one a little bit better angle for potential left footer. Not on the same page at all, unless that's a decoy. It is, but the Jumbos were waiting on it and send it out. And you get the feeling that might be the sort of thing that riles up the Jumbos bench. Bargania got to the head first, and Jumbo throw. And whoa, that is a late challenge, and there's going to be a card. That is, without a doubt, a yellow card. You cannot stop someone from a throw using your body.
What did our guy do?
Wait, they're giving it to Bargania?
Giving it to Bargania. Bargania threw the ball at the Conn College player who had obstructed the throw in. He is adjudged to have done the worst in that situation. Is agreed. It should be a foul on both sides there, but Bargania not happy with the result.
I mean, you got to call it both ways. If you're going to call the retaliation, you got to call the first one. Denial of a restart is an automatic yellow. I'm not sure why it's not called here.
It is, but at the same time, if you're Mateo Bargania, you can't.
No, you can't.
Can't
You
fall
can't
for that
fall into
bait.
that.
That's a yellow card what he did, so just give one to each.
Desautel agreeing with you, Micah, that it should be a yellow card each way. Feinberg into the back, and this one is quickly losing all semblance of a soccer match.
We were just hearing the referees saying that they like to try and manage the game without giving out cards, but it's going to become a more
Yeah, they
more
did tell us
difficult
that
task.
at halftime. I was thinking, but I wasn't going to say it to their faces, that I've never seen this match get anywhere near finishing without a yellow. Scafone Bargagna lost an edge, whipped back across, and a great intervention by Oscar Tanidas. Ahead to Gherkin, has Schultz ahead of him. Instead, he's going to turn and run down the near sideline. And that one just got away from him. Conn College bench loves it. And a heavy challenge there, all ball. And that one going to be a throw for the Camels, as both benches are quickly becoming louder than the fans.
It's interesting with the Jumbo's new formation. On their counterattacks, they are used to having 3 players running on. They only had 2. They really struggled to get someone in position where Gherkin could make something happen.
That one going to go out of play for a Conn College, or excuse me, for a Jumbo's goal kick. And Antich, maybe wisely for the way his team is acting on the pitch, going to slow things down a little bit.
Definitely, that's something you want to see. Experienced keeper, the junior.
Doesn't like make it any different if he also gets a yellow for you.
Penske goes up for that one. Second one flicked on by Canfin. Galezagu sends that one back into the Jumbo's half. Clivio flips it on. Canfin lays it off nicely for Feigen, who's going to look to send a ball. Schultz made a nice run up the middle, but he couldn't get over the last line. That definitely hit a hand, and that's a Jumbo's free kick.
Again, you just see Schultz isolated against 3 Conn College defenders. He's really being left alone up there.
And we'll see what the Jumbos look to do here. Feigen set up for it, and now I think he's going to defer to Max Clivio, who has space on this near side to potentially find Mateo Bargagna. Conn College, no semblance of 10 yards. Schultz went up and won the header. The problem was no one else had crashed the box. Nice little flick on.
We're about to get 5 substitutions for Conn College.
Big switch here, looking for Scafone, cut out by Oscar Tanidas. Second ball denied by Penske. Micah ended up with the ball.
Second time this game.
Yeah. This time was a little less scary.
Yeah. I think maybe they just want me on the team.
They do. They really need more recruits from Virginia.
That's what I've been saying. We got a couple DC players on the team.
Horvatiano with the throw. Gherkin comes across to win that header. Clivio stands that one up, and it hits the wind hard. Flicked on by Schultz. 50-50. Penske rises for it. It's controlled by Scafone. And now space here for Max Haberman. Jumbo's dropping off now. Gonna go 4v4 up top, drop 6 behind. Horvatiano. Yanez, Jet, and Gunn set to check in at the next whistle. Through ball completely overhit, but a nice step by Scafone. Has a hit, knuckleball, but it bounced in front of Antich.
Scafone just drifted out wide, and we saw the 2 players, Schultz and Kempin, trying to close on the attempted through ball before it could happen. Not fast enough. Scafone drifted inside, saw space. However, didn't get enough power on it. Antich behind that all the way.
That one finds the head of Penske. Second ball once again won by the Camels. Haberman surveys, dumps it back off. Jumbo's now collapsing in the midfield a little bit. And force a turnover. Canfin has ahead of him. Schultz cut out. Great intervention there. Feigen almost came away with it. Instead, Haberman does. Duran loops one. Demby's first to it. And then a two-hand shove. That is not going to get called. It'll be a throw instead.
Going back, that was great work by Horvath Diano just to see the opportunity that Kempin was trying to ask for, saw the passing lane Schultz was aiming for, and cut it out perfectly.
Great switch of the field to Scafone, who gets a step on Campbell, but can't get by him fully. And forced to play a negative ball. They'll try and find a ball in the space Campbell had negated. Creus into the box. Lows one across. And the Jumbos send it over the roof of their own net.
Kreis is a really dangerous option. Only started one game last year, really playing the Divock Origi role for Conn College. But he got 8 goals, 4 assists off the bench. Second team all NESCAC. Really threatening.
And Creus is someone who knows what it's like to score on. Bello had 2 goals in that 5-4 Elite 8 win 3 years ago as a freshman at the time. Duran to take.
Ethan, some are useful.
That one went through everybody. And I believe is going to be a Jumbo's throw. Or they're going to say it flicked off ahead. Didn't really see a deflection. That one sent back in. No one up there to contest with Ontich.
It's interesting that of the 3 subs lined up in front of us, only Jet really looking to play one of those front 2 positions that the Jumbos have relied on so far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that, though. I like the way this front unit, especially the way Schultz and Canfin have worked, especially on the defensive end, being really willing to do the dirty work.
I think that's definitely true, but you have to question whether this is a team playing for a draw with only willing to commit 2 or 3 players up top.
That is definitely a question. A draw would send them top of the table, however.
With an extra game played, it should be said.
Gherkin lays it off beautifully for Schultz, who has space into the box now. On his right foot and did not get much on that shot.
Well done, well done.
Coming in onto his right foot from that right side is not the position he really wanted to be in. Couldn't get the angle right.
Laid off nicely for Penske, who will whip it around. Oscar Tanidas between the lines. Gherkin got caught under his own feet. Will play Campbell. Jumbo's forced to go negative a little bit. And they'll go all the way back to their keeper, in fact. Great ball from Ontich over the top. But no run from a forward, and it'll end up all the way in Peter Sylvester's hands.
You can see why they want to do that, especially with that big opportunity they got from the Conn College error in the back in the first half. Canfin was streaking in, trying to get another one.
Canfin now chasing after the freshman Dylan Hoke and forces him to send one up with no real target. Demby got ahead to it, but couldn't win it. Hoke back with it. Around Canfin, but could not keep the ball in. Hoke seemingly incredulous, but the Jumbos are going to make their substitutions. And we'll see who's coming off here. James Flagg was added to the list of those coming in at the last second, so looks as if there's probably a wing back. It will be Owen Demby coming off, along with Feigen, Penske,
Schultz.
and Schultz. So 4 like-for-like substitutions for the Jumbos, as that throw ends up all the way in Peter Sylvester's hands from about midfield.
It was an interesting play to have Feigen in more of a 6 role. We haven't really seen that, especially given the Jumbo's depth in that position. He didn't have much impact on the games. He's used to playing as either a winger or a striker earlier in this game.
Dangerous ball to Rajaran. Hoke hits that one straight at Ontich, and the Jumbos will take that every time.
The Jumbos did win the coin toss and elected to play into the sun in the first half. You can think they're probably thinking they did that. Ontich certainly with those high balls coming in.
Yeah, it's definitely going to become a problem if they can get some more high balls on Peter Sylvester. Gherkin had 2 hands in his back. Second ball Duran sends forward. Oscar Tanidas going to run it down, but in the end, it'll end up right where it started, but not before we're going to stop play, as it looks like for the first time, and I would wager to bet that it won't be the last. We have a player down with some cramps.
It is warm out here on Belo today, in the 80s as it was yesterday. It's going to start getting back to our usual Medford, Somerville fall weather later on this week. Hopefully we'll get in the Salem State game before it starts raining.
Yeah, that one could be a little bit less pleasant out.
Last I checked, it was cloudy and raining the next day. Fingers crossed that it stays that way.
Ontich now will restart play. Looks like they stopped the clock, even though they did not need to. That one chested down. Crayu's going to look to send a through ball. Might have Scafone. And a great intervention by Gibson Campbell.
Not sure how he managed to do that. Got it with the back of his heel.
Loose touch. Jet overran it. And in the end, Haberman will try and restart play as the press hounds on the first year. Loose touch. Yanez trying to keep it in. He can't. Kyros Newton will for the Camels. Jumbo's a little bit caught out. Clivio. Now Crayus going to the left for the Camels. Cuts into some traffic and falls down. Yanez chests that one down. Jumbos have 4v4 if they hurry. Yorkin around one. And a second. Lays it off for Yanez. Advantage being played. Jet. Yanez going to slow things down. Plays Oscar Tanidas in between the lines. Ethan Jet. Has Campbell wide, and he'll find him. Campbell swings one towards the back post. Can't fin up, couldn't get a clean header. Second ball bouncing around. Good effort from Flag. Kept in play by the Camels. Gherkin fighting for it, gets it in the box. Still fighting, and that'll be a goal kick.
It's saying something if you're on a team with Mateo Bargania and Owen Denby, and you are not them, and you're the most adventurous fullback. James Flag is just popping up in the 6-yard box there. Crazy from him. Almost got a touch on goal.
Two new substitutions for the Jumbos. Zach Salfi and Luke Randolph in, replacing Gherkin and Canfin.
Coach Desatel has used Selfie in the second half of the last 2 games as well as a sub option up top. We still haven't seen Mikey Brady in this half.
I wonder if Desatel is saving him for a potential last attacking push. Late challenge from Jet, and he's getting warned. Galezagu wants a card. Referee uninterested. Space down the line here, and taken by Perugini. That one beautiful for Scafone. Late challenge, ball bouncing around, and the wind knocked out of James Gunn after that ball. Flag gonna have to do his job, and will, to win the Jumbos a goal kick.
Jumbos, I think, can count themselves lucky that either Conn College weren't able to get a shot away or weren't called to be given a penalty there. Scafone causing all sorts of problems for Gibson Campbell on this left side for the Camels.
Yeah, I think if you're Desatel, you might want to think about getting Owen Denby on the pitch sooner rather than later. That one from Ontich hangs up a bit. Good header from Yanez. 50-50 ball, again won by the Camels. Jet on the press now. Back to Sylvester. Livio goes up and wins it over everyone. Oscar Tanidas with his head up. Now sends one nicely into the chest of Ethan Jet. He'll try and get it up the line. It'll pop free to Campbell. Miscommunication with Gunn, but in the end, the Jumbos will restart the passing cycle.
If I had nickel for every time a team has tried to slow things down and inevitably failed in this game, I'd be a rich man.
Great through ball from Gunn. Jet couldn't do anything with it, and coming the other way are the Camels. Horvathiano, who was, by my last check, playing as a wingback all the way up as an attacker. As the Camels now return to their normal shape, urged by Ruben Burke, screaming at them. 18 minutes ago, here on the turf. That one sent well, but too much juice. And Kyrus Newton might be good at a lot of things, but one thing he's not able to do is body James Flagg.
It's worth mentioning, as we haven't had a chance with the technical difficulties earlier in the game, the Jumbos are the favorites nominally in this game, coming to this game ranked 11 nationally. Conn College receiving votes. They're about 2 spots outside the top 25. So it's an interesting question. How do they feel after this game if this scoreline stays the same?
I think it's a really interesting question, and I think you have to put it in context of the first 2 weeks of the NESCAC season. I think if you'd asked Kyle Desatel going into the season, if you could walk away from Williams, Colby, and Conn with 7 points, would you take it? He would have said 100%. But at the same time, if you'd asked him last night, would he be happy with 7 points? He would have told you no way.
And if you're Conn College, similar sort of question, only the other way around. They only have 2 points on the board after the first 3 games.
That one was a long time coming for Ethan Jett. Got away with a couple late tackles in the first half, but once the yellow card came out, it was only a matter of time before he landed in the book. Craves. Wide to Scafone. That one lipped up, and Campbell will just concede the throw.
Scafone is just staying so wide until he gets the ball. That time elected to play a bounce pass, but his ability to come inside off of that literal touchline has been really causing problems.
Horvathiano lining up for what looks to be a long throw. Campbell's almost treating this like a corner. Towards the near post. Did not get past Askar Tanidas. That one whipped back across and comfortably caught by Antic.
Camfin and Gherkin looking to check back into the second half. Haven't gotten their rest.
Wasn't very long rest for either of them. And I think that probably gives you some insight into Desitel's mentality. Nicely flicked on by James Gunn. Second ball, won by Flagg. Beautiful turn by Jet. Now Yanez picks his head up. Cuts onto his left. Around 2, Yanez picks his head up again. Has a hit, blocked by the first man.
It was a good job there by the Camels defense to keep Yanez on his left foot.
Askar Tanidas flicked on. Free header, Selfie! And he's going to want that back.
Flag did go up in the end as it wouldn't have counted. But Selfie just got completely underneath that one. It was a difficult one to aim as there was not much pace on it and he had to do all the work himself.
But we keep saying his name, James Flagg, once again involved in another gilt-edged scoring chance for the Jumbos.
There's 4 more subs coming in for Conn College there.
I believe this is the reverse of the line change we saw about 15 minutes ago.
It is going to be 5, in fact.
And Campbell, taking no chances with Scafone, sends that one across the straight. Solfie's day, quickly done, as is Ethan Jets. So we'll see who goes up top to join with Canfin. or if this potentially indicates a formational change.
Could be interesting. Randolph can play an attack, as can Yanez. Or, for all we know, they could put James Flagg up there.
I mean, he's almost playing as an attacker right now.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, why would you bring up the yellow? Why are you having a conversation? Keep it, Nick.
Bit of confusion on that call as it will go out for Jumbo's goal kick. 14 minutes left.
Bargania in for Gibson Campbell, so he'll be tasked with dealing with Matt Scafone the rest of the way.
It does look like Luke Randolph has taken the other attacking role for the moment.
Yanez with a poor touch given away to Creus. And Clivio might have gotten away with hands to the face there.
Arm definitely looked out there. I think Creus will want to remonstrate with the referee.
That one's sent forward. Randolph will get on his horse and chase it. Poke. As the Camels have definitely slowed it down in the last 10 or so minutes. They seemingly can sense the finish line of their long weekend. Dangerous pass given away to Randolph. 1v4. And in the end, he's able to win a very impressive throw.
The question really is, Gherkin was coming into the middle, but Camfin was well behind Randolph. There were really very few options for him to work with, as Camels did a great job of closing him out.
Bargania calling for some men to get in the box. He wants to treat this like a set piece. And the Jumbos are going to send up the big boys, Clivio and Feinberg, into the box. Near post, doesn't get over the head. Flicked on. Yana is able to win it. Camel's caught out a bit here. Bargania makes a defender. Now crosses it into the box. It'll pop free. Clivio with the hit. And that looked like a hit of hand. And it will be a free kick.
How Max Clivio managed to get over that. That was brilliant contact he managed there. And I think if you're the Conn College defender there, you are a little unhappy. You had no time to react to that as there was so much pace on it.
I agree with that. And I think that's why he's not getting a card. But at the same time, he distinctly made himself bigger. And if you make yourself bigger and the ball hits your hand, even by accident, it's going to be a foul. Good question about who's going to take it, but I'd have to think this one belongs to Daniel Yanez.
He's really made his set-piece prowess known last season especially. Yet to score a direct one this season.
This is his preferred spot, just left of center.
You can see how much the Camels are worried about that with that 5, maybe 6-person wall.
Jumbos do have 2 in the wall to potentially bail and give him a shooting lane. Jumbo's upset about where Kolezigu is. Bargania moves it. Yanez hits it into the wall. And away by the Camels. Oscar Tanida sends it back. Flicked on. Jumbos are in here. Touchdown. And not able to get on the right side of it was Gherkin. But another giveaway. Conn College in all sorts of trouble right now. Bargania between the lines. Gherkin's going to get it in the box. Turns back onto his left. Dribbling every which way is Liam Gherkin, and eventually runs out of options.
Jumbos have really struggled with finding those passes in the final third. Conn College have done a great job of getting multiple players on them as Bargania.
Great ball by Bargania. And an even better slide tackle by Kolezigu. Creus. Clivio comes right through, gets the ball. Creus is down. Jumbos keep playing. Creus back to his feet as James Flagg turns back. Just over 10 to go here on Bello. Ruben Burke looks like he's about ready to impale Creus, who is not where he wants him to be.
In fairness, he was holding his hamstring after that collision with Clivio.
Into the box, nearly able to pull off a turn on that ball was Gherkin. Flicked on, no further than Feinberg, who sends it right back where it came from. Canfin gonna go chase. He'll get it on the left side, around Hoke. Into the box, Xavier Canfin. Loose touch, whipped across, off the outside of the post.
That is what Canfin specializes in, getting around the players, going to the byline, cutting around and getting towards goal. The cut back there, not quite right.
Upset is James Gunn. He didn't think there was any contact there, but a much-needed free kick for the Camels.
And that's about the best the Jumbos have looked in attack, potentially all game, for a consistent spell of pressure.
Camels going to restart play. Ben Penske to check in at the next whistle. Space here for Kolezigu. Kreus couldn't control that one, and it'll be sent up. Back into the Camels' back line. Haberman wide. Beam. Turns. Tries to play a 1-2 with Kreus. Now trying to turn 1v1 against Oscar Tanidas. He can't, but Haberman can. But that one behind and given away. Randolph with the interception. And the Jumbos will build from the back.
Here's a sign from Desatel, Ben Brown going in up top. That is the signal for Route 1 style.
And I like that move. This is a Conn College team that showed they've had struggles dealing with the aerial ball in the last 20 or so minutes. Ben Brown's your tallest, one of your best in the air. I like that idea.
Horvath is the tallest player for the Camels at 6'4". Ben Brown still has an inch on him.
Livio just uses that long reach to get to that one. Flag. Cut out. Gunn gets it forward. Bad decision from the Camels to play that one back. But in the end, able to calm things down is Hoke, who has really been impressive as a first year today.
If you want to get into the team that still has 6 players, actually 12 players from the national championship team 3 years ago.
Dangerous ball.
You're going to have to be good.
Yanez coming, and here come the Bows. 4v4 the other way. Between the lines, Ben Brown could not control it. He would have been 1v1.
That is where we have to point out Ben Brown. He's gotten his game time at center forward plenty of times, but he is not a natural center forward. He is a natural 6.
And Ruben Burke screaming at his team that they have 7.5 more minutes. They are more than happy with a tie at this point as Canfin wins a throw. Quickly taken. Feinberg couldn't quite get it all the way to Ben Brown. That one sent all the way down. Ontich off his line to collect. Vigan waiting to check in, as is Kuros Newton for the Camels. The real question is, will the ball go out of play before then?
Ontich is taking his time with this punt.
That one with some spin on it. Bouncing around. Looks like it might have popped off a hand. Penske. Back here to Hoke. Looking for some movement. Canfin forces it wide. Now he's going to go chase on Kezaglu. He forces him to turn back. Here comes Ben Brown. Penske intercedes. Ben Brown flicks it on. Canfin. Into the box now. On his left. Has a hit. Just wide of the post.
He's trying to do the mirror image, cutting onto his left from the right. Just not quite the same power or curve.
But a great play, and it all starts from that extra effort from Ben Penske to get his leg in on that ball. And you can tell the Jumbos are going for it. Yanez coming out. Ethan Feigen, a set of fresh legs, going to come back in here.
It's interesting, even as they're pushing for this goal, Brady's still not on the field. If you look at the stats, there might be a reason for that. Brady has not scored since October 15th last year. Feigen since September 30th.
That one cut out in the midfield. Clivio couldn't come away with it, but a free kick, or excuse me, a throw for the Jumbos. We dip under 6 to play. You still get the feeling there's at least one more chance left in this game. Long throw. Ben Brown chests it down. And it'll go back for another Jumbos throw further up the field. Flag takes it quickly down the line for Canfin. He'll turn back, lay it off, looking for Ben Brown. Nicely dealt with by the Camels, who were looking to go the other way. That one cut out, but they're going to bring it back for a foul, I believe, on Ben Brown.
It's worth noting Conn College are going to bring on a forward of their own. Caleb Huang already has a goal against Salve Regina. They're not giving up on this game either.
I think both teams are going to punch until the final whistle goes. But at the same time, neither of them want to concede. The difference in points is better if you take the risk, but in mentality, it's probably better to play it safe. Clivio gets behind it, but can't get it all the way out. Oscar Tanidas does. Ben Brown just bodies Hoke, and Feigen will turn and run against the freshman. Feigen cuts back onto his right, lays it off for James Gunn. Wide to Flag. Camels pinned completely in as a big tackle from Clivio to prevent that from being blown up. Bargania calling for it on the near side. Oscar Tanidas can't get it all the way there. Bargania has the throw, tries to take it quickly, and Bargania going to get told this is Ben Brown's throw. Jumbo's going to send all the tall guys up because Ben Brown can put this on the six from here.
And that's not something Vargania is used to hearing. You can't take this throw. Your throw's not big enough.
Under 4 to go. Brown towards the near post. Dealt with by Scafone. Half-hearted appeals for handball. Went nowhere. 1v2 are the Camels, and Feigen not taking any chances against Elliott Spatz.
Come on, Mateo. Good job.
3:43 to play. Good header from Bargania. And the Jumbos win the throw. Brown. And they're going to blow it back. Unclear where it was. I think they said Ben Brown took a step or two too many. Clock is still running here, which the Jumbos probably want to be aware of.
Yeah, Ben Brown's gotten away with a couple of those so far this season, but that one just took one step too far.
Now Bargania lining up for his long throw. Not quite as long. Duran gave it away. Clivio sends that one into the corner. A little bit of trouble here for Sylvester, who just beats Feigen to it.
Breeze is starting to pick up here. Not so much time for it to make a difference, but you never know.
Sylvester puts that one on the ground. We'll see if Ben Brown comes out to challenge. Oscar Tanidas does the work to win the ball. Henske gets to the second and wins the ball. Brown now to Penske. He's going to send one into the middle. Looking for the run of Camfin. Sylvester in a perfect spot to beat Camfin to the ball. Dangerous ball. Feinberg cuts that one out. Gunn with a loose header, but it'll pop back to him. Conn College crowd doesn't like it. Bargania with a huge diagonal to a wide open Xavier Camfin, who takes it in stride. Oh my lord, that is a horrible call.
Camfin trying to be the hero for the second time in 3 games. Party is canceled early.
And a real question as to where Camfin was offside. The whistle was blown. Clock still running here as we dip under 90 seconds to go. That one headed back into the box. Bouncing around, a shot on Antich. And a reactionary save from the NESCAC Player of the Week.
And that's why he's been NESCAC Player of the Week, yet to concede a goal. He hasn't truly been tested so much, but that is one reason whenever he does need to be tested, he is ready to be called upon.
60 seconds left in the 7-8-1. That one bounces hits the turf. Henske got a foot to it. Brown sends it forward, looking for Canfin. Sylvester corrals. Canfin not making a wise choice to stick his arm out there. But Sylvester, in all likelihood, is more than content to just see this one out.
We saw chances at the very end of the last half.
30 seconds to go. Bargania can't keep it in. Sends that one 100 miles. We'll see if he gets carded for it. Clock still running. Ben Brown heads it out. 5 seconds left here. Feigen will chest it down. That will pretty much do it. And 7 points in 3 games to start the NESCAC campaign for the Jumbos. They go top of the leaderboard. And for the first time in Kyle Desautel's reign, 4 games without conceding a goal.
Really incredible defensive record. Still just trying to find that spark up top for both teams realistically. Jumbo's unable to really put Sylvester under too much pressure apart from that one moment earlier in the first half. Meanwhile, for Conn College, they will rue their missed opportunities. Still winless and scoreless in the NESCAC.
I was also going to add as well, it's good to be here here at the very end, but just wanted to add a few thoughts as well. My name is Max Antonini, by the way. Good to be with you all. But yeah, this is one of those that feels like a loss in a way if you're the Jumbos. You are at home. You wanted to take advantage of this home crowd, but again, it's not such a bad result. We know that Conn College had only conceded 1 goal headed into this one, and that was against a very elite side in Amherst College. So I think there are a lot of lessons to be taken from this, and it's not such a bad result in the end as well. You mentioned still yet to concede a goal, Tufts has, so definitely still rotating the lineup a bit, trying to figure out what works best, but top 3 in the NESCAC, 2-0-1. Can't really complain about those 7 points.
Yeah, top of the NESCAC in the leaderboard. Have played 1 more game than the other 2 unbeaten squads. They'll actually face one of them next weekend as they travel to Middletown, Connecticut to play against Wesleyan before they return home for a game with Trinity in 3 weeks. That is the next time they'll play a NESCAC home game. As for their next home game at large, that'll be in just 3 days when they host Salem State here, 7 o'clock Wednesday night on JumboCast. That should be a good one. Get to see some fresh faces both on the field and behind the mic. Before we say goodbye, I'd like to thank the other members of my crew. Will Mullen and Noah Goldstein doing a great job on the cams. Jake Flossie dealing with all the technical problems. Our amazing technical director, who you got to see for the last 90 seconds or so, Max Antonini, who solved pretty much everything that went wrong today, which, for those of you who have been watching with us from the start, was a lot. Alongside Micah Baum, I've been Riley Daniel. You've been watching JumboCast, and as always, stay home safely.